Alright, so we're checking out assignment 8 here. First thing right off the bat, there's a whole lot of keys coming up to frame 12 here. Alright, so we've got a key on every single frame all the way up to 12. We don't want that. And also just, actually something I should start with before we really even get into this. For assignment 8, there are creativity points, alright? So 5 points of your grade are creativity points, alright? Meaning that you need to create a different scene than that used in the book if you want full points on this assignment, alright? So this is the scene from the book, so I can't award any of those for this one, but we will go over how to improve the animation for it, alright? So, first of all, I'm going to delete all these keys. I've got my graph editor open over here, alright? And I'm just going to go ahead and grab all of these keys. This is everything except for keyframe 1 here and keyframe on 12 here, alright? Everything in between those two. Then I'm just going to hit my delete key, alright? Command X on a Mac or Control X on a PC, and we've cleaned that up a lot, alright? So let's see what this looks like now. Okay, so there's an obvious problem, right? The problem is that the ball is squashing before it hits the ground, right? And we don't want that. So let's fix it. Obviously the squash has to do with scale, alright? So let's check out our scale values. We won't worry about translate at the moment. So this is pretty stretched out and kind of hard to see what's going on really at the moment. So we can actually adjust this view to be able to see this a little bit better. To adjust this, if you are on a Mac, you will want to hit press and hold, Command Shift, and then also right mouse click and drag left and right, okay, to adjust this. And if you're on a PC, it's going to be basically the same, except it's going to be Control Shift, right mouse click and drag, alright? So once we drag that inwards, we can zoom in on this, just like we do in the scene window, alright? And we can kind of see these curves a little better that are happening, alright? So basically, there's some scaling happening here, slowly scaling into this squashed position that's happening at 12, alright? So here at 12 we've got the squash, and here at 1 and 24 we have just a normal size bouncy ball, alright? So, of course, like we said, we don't want this to actually start squashing at all until it reaches 12. And rather than setting a lot of keyframes to keep the shape round, or even, setting a keyframe right before to keep that shape round, we can actually make that happen right here with the graph editor, alright? So instead of having this gradual shape change, we want it to happen very abruptly, so we can just grab these. Okay, I'm just clicking and dragging to grab all of the keys in scale X, Y, and Z, alright? Make sure you're not grabbing translate Y when you're doing this, alright? And I'm just grabbing all of the keys for scale X, Y, and Z on frame 1, as well as frame 12 here, okay? I'm leaving frame 24 alone. Now, once I've grabbed those, I can actually go to one of my little buttons up here, alright? This is called Step Tangents. You can click on that. Alright, so I got a little overexcited there. It looks like I really only need to grab these for frame 1, okay? Step. There we go. So, okay, what does this mean now? Basically, this means there's no change in scale whatsoever, okay? Just a perfectly horizontal line like this. means absolutely no change is occurring over time, alright? So no change in scale, no change in scale, no change in scale. And then suddenly at frame 12, this is going to suddenly jump to these new scale values, okay? So let's watch that happen. No change, no change, no change, no change, no change, and pop. There's that squash, alright? Now, the end of the animation is still changing gradually, okay? So as it comes back up, it's doing this gradual change back to its original shape, alright? So that's actually still a little bit unnatural because it's coming back to its original shape very slowly, alright? So normally we would want that shape to actually be probably by this point already back to perfectly round, okay? And in fact, we may even want to add in some stretch right there, rather than just leaving it perfectly round, to really give our animation some extra pop, and to also give us practice with both squash and stretch. Alright? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a stretch here. Alright? So I'm just on frame 16 right now. And what I'm gonna do is grab my scale here, and scale Y, I'm going to stretch it, meaning, you know, scale Y is going to get bigger, scale X and Z are going to get smaller, alright? So I'll add a little stretch here. Make these two smaller. Okay, maybe something like that. And I'll go ahead and grab scale X, Y, and Z only, alright? And I'll key those, okay? So let's see how our animation is looking now. There goes our ball falling down, squashing as soon as it hits the floor, then stretching up, and gradually returning to normal, okay? So you can see how that adds a lot of life to this bounce animation, alright? Makes it look very bouncy. That's pretty much all there is to it for a simple animation like this. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that we went over today. Thanks for watching, and happy animating!